Hello everyone, and welcome to Applebee's Bar and Grill. My name is Brooke, and I am the Human Resource Manager for JS Ventures Corporation, and I am going to be going over your orientation day today. First off, I'd like to start off by welcoming everybody to the Applebee's family. We are happy to have you as part of our company. I'd like to start off with some background information about the company. First off, the corporation that you're working for is actually called JS Ventures Franchise. It has 25 locations within the Kansas, Nebraska, and Iowa borders. And the first Applebee's opened in 1989. So I just want to give you a little background information of the company that you are now employed with. Some things that the company is looking for is for employees to make their customers feel welcome, to give great customer service, and always invite people back and be friendly and kind to all the customers. Some things that I'd like to go over for starters are some rules and policies that JS Ventures and Applebee's has as a whole. The first one is going to be being on time to work. This means that if you are scheduled at 4 o'clock to come in, that you are there promptly at 4 o'clock or a few minutes before. You are allowed to clock in before 4 o'clock, 15 minutes prior to your scheduled time. So if you're scheduled at 4, you're allowed to clock in no earlier than 3:45. We also have a cell phone usage policy while at work. Our policy on cell phones is you are allowed to have cell phones while you're at work. We just ask that you use them in what we call our downtime hours, which is our slower hours of the business day. For an example, it'd be around 2 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's our slower time. It's after the lunch hour rush, and it's before our dinner rush. So you're allowed to check your cell phone in that time. But we do ask that you go to the back of the restaurant so that way any customers that might be within the restaurant cannot see you while on your cell phone. Also, we have a write-up rule that I'd like to go over with everyone. Our rule about our write-ups is you get 3 chances. You get a verbal warning, a written warning, and then it would be termination by the 3rd one. This means that you would have to have 3 consecutive write-ups for the same thing. For an example, if you had 3 write-ups for being late to work, on that 3rd time of being told that you were late to work, you would be terminated on that 3rd time. We do have a holiday rule. Being a restaurant, we are open on all holidays except for Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. And most of our holidays is usually our busier times. For an example, on Mother's Day, Father's Day, like Memorial Weekend, holiday, and things like that, we tend to be a little bit busier in the restaurant. And for most of our holidays, everybody, again, like for Mother's Day and Father's Day, is required to work on those days. And if you are late to work on those specific holidays, that makes for an automatic termination. Some things to go over about our employee breaks. Employees do get to take breaks. We do it during the down hours, like I mentioned before, during the cell phone use time. Our down hours would be after our lunch rush between 2 and 3 and before the dinner rush. And then if you work in the evening, then our downtime hours are going to be any time after 9. And that would be when the employee breaks are going to be acceptable. That also goes for our smoking breaks. You are allowed to go outside and smoke on our back dock as long as it is away from the building. And again, the smoke break times is on our down hours between 2 and 3 after our lunch rush, and then after our dinner rush between 8 and 9. You are allowed to smoke after those hours. Also, we have an employee meal discount. This means that if you are currently working that day, you are eligible to get a $4 comp off of your meal for that day. For an example, if you order a meal that is $8.99, then you will get $4 taken off of that for being an employee and for working that day. Any days that you are not working, you also get an employee meal discount, and it'll be 10% of the total cost of your bill. I would like to move on and talk about the tipped employees. Most of you are going to be tipped employees. This means that you make an hourly wage, but you also get a tip share from that. For an example, if you are hired on to be a server, you are going to make $2.13 an hour plus the tips that you make. And then if you are hired on to be a host or hostess, you are going to make $3.50 an hour plus the tips that you will make. If you are a bartender, you are going to make $4.50 an hour plus your tips. If you are a Carside to-go specialist, which is anybody who orders to-go through our to-go meals for the company, you will make $4 plus the tips that you earn from your to-go guests. And then if you are a cook, you are going to have a strict hourly wage, and you do not earn tips. You will make $9 an hour starting out if you are a cook. How we do our tip out for the company is if you are a server, you take 3% out of the sales that you make from that night or day, and 2% of those tips are going to go to your host or hostess for bussing your tables and seating your tables, and then the other 1% is going to go to the bartender for making any alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverages for you. That all is calculated for you at the end of the night. You will have a checkout slip that is printed off, and that is going to tell you how much of the tip out that you will be giving out of the 3%, and you will turn that into your manager on duty at the end of the night. Some uniform policies I would like to go over. If you are a front of house employee, that is going to be a server, bartender, host or hostess, and Carside employee, you are going to have a uniform policy to wear an all-black outfit. This is meaning that you are required to wear a black button-up shirt, black dress pants, black socks, and then black non-slip shoes, and a black undershirt if needed. If girls or boys would like to wear a shirt underneath of their button-up shirt, that needs to be black as well. As far as the non-slip shoes go, that is something that you can order through Applebee's company, or you can also go out to local shoe stores such as Famous Footwear, and they have non-slip shoes there as well for you to purchase. Also, something that is a part of the uniform is your hair. We ask that if you have any hair longer than shoulder-length hair, it be worn up or pulled back into a ponytail. That is for the health code policies, and we have to follow those as well. If you are applying in an employee for a cook, then your uniform policy is a little bit different. You are asked to wear a hat since you will be cooking the food to protect your hair as well. You are allowed to wear jeans in the back of the house, and then we give you an Applebee's t-shirt that we ask that you wear. You also need to wear black non-slip shoes just like the front of the house employees. We also have a jewelry and tattoo policy. As far as jewelry goes for girls or boys, we ask that you must wear your jewelry be tasteful. And what we mean by that when we say tasteful is that you only have one ring on per finger, or per hand, excuse me. We ask that your earrings be smaller than the size of a nickel for girls or boys. And we ask that there is no facial piercings such as nose rings, lip piercings, tongue rings, eyebrows. We like that to be clean cut, and that is just one of our policies as a company. Also, if you have any tattoos, we ask that you please cover those up as much as you can. If you have tattoos on your wrist or any on the neck or upper area that could be shown, We please ask that if you wear longer sleeves, if you have them on the wrist, and if you have any on the neck, we ask that you please cover those or wear a Band-Aid if you need to. That is just one of the things that we have for our policies. I think I have gone over all the basic rules and policies for Applebee's, and I would like to once again thank everyone for coming to Orientation Day, and we look forward to having you as part of our Applebee's family and look forward to working with each and every one of you. And congratulations once again, and welcome to the family.